Everyone talks about coronavirus. Well, let's keep in mind that coronavirus, there's many different types of coronavirus. In fact, coronavirus is one of the leading causes of the common cold. So it is important for us to just, define what this is. This is specifically SARS-CoV-2. That stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. And then CoV is short for coronavirus 2. So some of the teens may not remember this, but at the beginning of the decade, it was our first SARS coronavirus, which started in Hong Kong. And then later on this decade, we had the MERS virus, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome virus. And now we have this SARS-CoV-2. So, specifically, that's what we're talking about. So as I said, in terms of the epidemiology of this virus, I put these numbers in as of yesterday. The numbers have changed even today. Of course, this is devastating. There's been over 1 million cases of people that have been confirmed to be infected with SARS-CoV-2 worldwide. It's a global pandemic affecting over 140 countries. And again, as of yesterday, almost 600,000 confirmed cases in the United States alone. Of course, this is making us have the dubious distinction of being the country that has the most number of infected people with SARS-CoV-2. And of course, the saddest part about this, right, is the fact that there's significant morbidity and mortality associated with this. Over 20,000 fatalities in the US alone due to SARS-CoV-2. Now, keep in mind that the mortality rate, which we think is 1 to 2%, is probably actually not that high. And the reason for that is because we don't know all the people that have actually been infected with this virus. The only people that we know that are infected are the ones that get tested. And there's a huge number of people that have this infection that have never been tested, partially because it's been really hard to get testing out. We've had very little testing available. So as healthcare providers, we're really trying to prioritize the people who really need the test the most. So again, there's magnitudes of people that are infected with this virus that we don't know about. And for that reason, again, the denominator changes, so the mortality rate's actually probably not as high. It might be a little bit closer to 0.7%. Now, this compares to influenza virus, which is causes much lower mortality rates. But again, that's kind of based on epidemiology and data, and our data about SARS-CoV-2 is not exact. But with influenza virus, the mortality rate's at 0.1%. Now, another point that I did want to make is that, as I mentioned, there's close to 24,000 fatalities from SARS-CoV-2. I just saw an article that came out today that indicated that the number of deaths due to influenza this year in the 2019 to 2020 cycle was 24,000. So 24,000 people died of influenza infection this past influenza season. And I'm not at all saying that influenza and SARS-CoV-2 are the same. We have a vaccine for influenza, which we do not for SARS-CoV-2. The transmissibility is probably different for SARS-CoV-2. The testing is much more robust and available for influenza. So again, I'm not saying these are the same viruses at all, but I do want to just remind all the listeners out there that influenza is a deadly virus, and just a plug for everybody to try to get the flu vaccine every year.